Today, voters will decide if a Democrat or Republican will lead the state. Will it be a Democratic former Congressman Neil Abercrombie or Republican Lieutenant Governor Duke Aiona? The latest poll shows Abercrombie with a 51 to 43% lead over Aiona.
Can we stop now?
There are many undecided voters who could sway the election. And I think, Mr. Abercrombie, you want me to read this because he recently won the endorsement of the Honolulu Star-Advertiser, which says nobody in Hawaii's history can come close to matching Abercrombie's extensive public service at different levels. Yes. On the other hand, Aiona has the support of conservatives and several small business groups. And now joining us is Neil Abercrombie for a live interview. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
Can you read that part from the Star-Advertiser?
I'm sure they heard it. And I know you've been very busy. You've got a lot of sign waving. You're riding a trolley today, so thank you again for appearing on our morning news.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be with you folks.
Now, we just heard from our political analyst, Neil Milner, who says that you've got good poll numbers, you've got a good lead, but it's not great. So what are you going to do to get more people on your side?
No, I'm not going to do much of anything at all. And the reason for that is that at this stage of any campaign, it literally is all grassroots. It's all personal. It's all someone reaching out to someone else in their families, their colleagues, on the set, folks talking here at KITV to one another. That's really what it is. People have made up their minds now about what they're going to do. The question is are they going to act on it? Are they going to be motivated? And that generally means talking with one another. And on that score, I think I've been very, very fortunate. People have been working so hard for so long, and they're so committed. It energizes me.
Duke Aiona has received some endorsements from small business groups. What would you say to them, and why it would be better for a Democrat to run the state?
Well, the problem for small business right now is business is not getting done. The 8 years of the previous administration obviously hasn't worked very well in that regard. And so I think people want to embrace change. They want to take a new turn. They need a fresh approach. And when I put people to work, which is what I intend to do, then you'll see people out buying. You'll see them making use of the services, particularly a small business. And when that happens, revenue is generated for the state, and prosperity ensues. So I think that, as I've always done in my campaigns, I'm going to let my actions speak for what I intend to do. And I think that they'll conclude that their reservations were not warranted, and that business is going to pick up.
There was a pretty unflattering ad in this Sunday's paper, and I know you've seen it.
Oh, that's not. I thought it was pretty flattering.
It was paid for by the Hawaii Republican Party.
Yes, there he is.
And it basically says this Democrat didn't forget who the real Neil is. And one of the lines in there says, he called soldiers of my generation murderers and baby killers. It says other things. Do you want to refute any of the other things that were in this ad? And why do you think it's gotten so negative?
It's a shame that people get into that state of mind. I served on the Armed Services Committee for 20 years. I had direct responsibility to make life and death decisions for military personnel in the United States Armed Forces. That is literally deadly serious business. It's a shame that someone in the Republican Party thought that the delusionary statements of someone like that was worth printing. It's very, very unfortunate. The men and women in the armed services know who is dedicated to their welfare.
All right. Well, Neil Abercrombie,
but I do like the killer grin on that picture, though. I wish they'd have had the whole original. That comes from 1970 when I ran for the United States Senate, and I had my whole brochure out there, and as you can see, the twinkle in the eye there I still have today.
All right. Well, Neil Abercrombie, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck during the rest of the day.
You can't get too much good luck.
And we need to say that ever since an initial appearance after the primary election, Duke Aiona has declined numerous invitations to appear on KITV4 News this morning, and he declined today's invitation as well. Now, to view this interview again or to watch any of our segments on our morning news, you can go to kitv.com/thismorning.